The American Nightmare is dead, and WWE just committed the biggest betrayal in wrestling history. Tonight at WrestlePalooza, we witnessed the most controversial championship change that will have the entire WWE universe ready to burn down every arena from coast to coast. Drew McIntyre, the man who couldn't even hold onto his championship for more than 5 minutes against Roman Reigns, just walked out as your new undisputed WWE champion after defeating Cody Rhodes in what can only be described as the most rigged match in recent memory. And if you think this was just another night at the office, you're about to discover why this moment will go down as the day WWE completely lost its soul. Hold up. Before you start typing your angry comments, and trust me, you will be angry after hearing what I'm about to expose, smash that like button because what I'm revealing tonight will shock you to your core. The evidence I've uncovered about this match will make you question everything you thought you knew about WWE's booking decisions. Let's talk about the elephant in the room that nobody wants to address. Cody Rhodes, the man who finished his story at WrestleMania, the wrestler who finally dethroned Roman Reigns after his historic 1,316-day reign, the champion who brought legitimacy back to the Undisputed Championship, was just robbed of his title by a man who's done absolutely nothing to earn this moment. Think about this for just 1 second. Drew McIntyre's last meaningful championship reign was cut short faster than a commercial break. This is the same Drew McIntyre who lost his WWE Championship to The Miz, through a cash-in, and now we're supposed to believe he's worthy of being the face of this company? The man who couldn't even main event a single pay-per-view during the pandemic era when WWE was desperate for fresh main event talent? But here's where it gets absolutely disgusting. The finish of this match was so blatantly orchestrated that even a blind referee would have called it differently. McIntyre didn't win this match through superior wrestling ability, innovative offense, or even a dirty heel turn that would at least make narrative sense. No! He won because WWE's creative team has completely lost touch with what their audience actually wants to see. Picture this nightmare scenario that just unfolded before our eyes: Cody Rhodes, fighting with the heart of a true champion, dominating McIntyre for the majority of this match. The Scottish Warrior was getting outclassed at every turn, looking more like a mid-card challenger than a legitimate threat to the Undisputed Championship. Rhodes hit not 1, not 2, but 3 crossroads throughout this match, and somehow McIntyre kept kicking out like he suddenly developed the supernatural resilience of The Undertaker at WrestleMania. And then came the most infuriating sequence I've witnessed in my years covering this business. With Cody setting up for what should have been the decisive 4th crossroads, the move that would have put this pretender away for good, the lights went out. The lights went out. In 2025, WWE is still using power outage finishes like we're stuck in the Attitude Era. When those lights came back on, Drew McIntyre was standing tall with a steel chair in his hands and Cody Rhodes laid out in the center of the ring like he'd been hit by a freight train. But here's the part that will make your blood boil: there was no explanation. No heel turn reveal, no mysterious attacker, no logical story progression whatsoever. Just McIntyre suddenly holding a weapon that materialized out of thin air. The referee, and get this, the referee didn't see it. In what universe does a WWE official miss a steel chair shot that echoed throughout the entire arena? We've seen referees catch the most subtle eye pokes and hidden brass knuckles, but somehow this zebra-striped buffoon missed a chair shot that probably registered on the Richter scale. McIntyre then had the audacity to hit his Claymore kick on an already unconscious Cody Rhodes and pin the man who literally carried this company on his back for the past several months. The 3 count that followed wasn't just a pin, it was the execution of everything WWE has been building towards since WrestleMania. But the disrespect doesn't end there. Oh no, WWE had to twist the knife even deeper. After the match, instead of showing any remorse or acknowledgement of how he won, McIntyre celebrated like he'd just overcome impossible odds through pure determination and skill. The man posed with both championship belts like he's the second coming of Stone Cold Steve Austin, completely ignoring the fact that his victory was more hollow than a participation trophy. And speaking of those championship belts, let's address the massive problem with Drew McIntyre as undisputed champion that WWE is hoping you'll just overlook. This man has proven time and time again that he cannot carry a company as its top champion. His previous WWE Championship reign was so forgettable that most fans probably need to Google when it even happened. Remember McIntyre's run during the pandemic? When WWE needed their champion to be a larger-than-life personality who could captivate audiences through television screens, what did we get? Boring promos, predictable matches, and championship defenses that felt more like contractual obligations than must-see television. The man had the entire wrestling world's attention during a time when WWE was the only major entertainment available, and he squandered that opportunity completely. Now compare that to what Cody Rhodes accomplished in just a few short months as champion. Rhodes elevated every single wrestler he stepped into the ring with. His matches felt important, his promos told compelling stories, and most importantly, he made the Undisputed Championship feel like the most prestigious prize in all of professional wrestling. Under Cody's reign, we saw meaningful feuds, emotional storytelling, and championship matches that actually mattered. Cody Rhodes brought legitimacy back to a title that had been devalued by Roman Reigns' predictable, acknowledge-me, character work. Rhodes proved that a champion doesn't need to rely on interference, part-time appearances, or family connections to draw money and engage audiences. He was a fighting champion who elevated his opponents and made every title defense feel like a special attraction. And WWE threw all of that away for what exactly? So Drew McIntyre could stumble through another forgettable championship reign while cutting the same generic "I'm proud to represent this company" promos that put audiences to sleep during his last run? So we can watch him struggle to generate even half the audience engagement that Cody Rhodes created effortlessly? The booking decision tonight represents everything that's wrong with modern WWE. Instead of building on the incredible momentum that Cody Rhodes generated, instead of allowing a naturally over champion to continue elevating the entire roster, WWE decided to hotshot their championship to a wrestler who peaked years ago and has shown no signs of evolution or growth since then. But here's the part that should terrify every WWE fan. This championship change wasn't made because Drew McIntyre suddenly became a more compelling character or because he deserved this opportunity through hard work and great performances. This change happened because WWE's decision-makers are completely out of touch with what their audience wants to see. Think about the message WWE just sent to their entire roster. Work hard, connect with audiences, have great matches, tell compelling stories, and build genuine emotional investment with the fans, and none of it matters. Because at any moment, WWE will strip away your accomplishments to push whatever wrestler fits their corporate agenda, regardless of whether that decision makes any creative or business sense. Cody Rhodes represented hope for every wrestler in that locker room who believed that talent and dedication would eventually be rewarded. Tonight, WWE crushed that hope under the boot of corporate politics and backstage favoritism. They proved that no matter how over you get, no matter how much the audience invests in your character, none of it matters if you're not the company's chosen golden boy. And let's be brutally honest about Drew McIntyre's character work. What exactly is his appeal in 2025? He's not cutting revolutionary promos, he's not having innovative matches, and he's certainly not generating the kind of organic fan reactions that create lasting memories. McIntyre is the definition of a safe, corporate choice, a wrestler who won't rock the boat, won't challenge creative decisions, and won't demand the kind of creative control that naturally over wrestlers often require. WWE chose Drew McIntyre because he's controllable, not because he's compelling. They wanted a champion who would follow their script without question, rather than a champion like Cody Rhodes who had the vision and charisma to elevate their entire product. The worst part? This decision will set back the Undisputed Championship's credibility by months, if not years. After Cody Rhodes worked so hard to make these belts feel important again, we're about to enter another era of boring, paint-by-numbers championship matches that fans will forget as soon as they end. Mark my words and screenshot this prediction because I guarantee it will come true. Drew McIntyre's second reign as champion will be even more forgettable than his first. Within 3 months, ratings will decline, audience engagement will drop, and WWE will be scrambling to find ways to generate interest in a champion who simply doesn't have the charisma or storytelling ability to carry their flagship programming. Tonight wasn't just a championship change, it was a declaration of war against everything that makes professional wrestling compelling. WWE just told their audience that their emotional investment doesn't matter, their organic reactions don't count, and their desire for authentic storytelling will always be secondary to corporate convenience. So here's my question for every single person watching this video: are you going to accept this blatant disrespect? Are you going to quietly watch as WWE destroys everything that Cody Rhodes built during his championship reign? Or are you going to make your voice heard and demand the kind of creative accountability that this company desperately needs? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, but more importantly, make sure WWE understands that their audience won't tolerate this kind of lazy, insulting booking. Hit that like button if you're as disgusted as I am, subscribe for more unfiltered WWE coverage, and share this video with every wrestling fan who needs to understand what really happened at WrestlePalooza tonight. The American nightmare may be over, but the nightmare for WWE is just beginning. Because when you alienate your most passionate fans for short-term corporate gains, the long-term consequences always come back to haunt you. And Drew McIntyre's Hollow Championship reign will be the perfect example of what happens when a company forgets that wrestling fans aren't just customers, we're the lifeblood of this entire industry.